You're listening to Soberoso, a show dedicated to alcoholics, addicts, survivors of abuse, overcomers of great tragedies, and those of us with mental health issues too. Each week, we invite guests and listeners from around the world to listen in as we have casual conversations with regular people like you and me who've, against all odds, turned their lives around. If you're a family member of someone suffering from alcoholism or addiction, a newcomer or old-timer, or sober curious, this show is for you. Join us now on the Soberoso podcast with your host, Dora Gosselin, in sharing our passion for recovery.
Hello, beautiful peeps. Welcome back to another episode of Soberoso, the podcast. My name is Dora, and I am your grateful host of this show. I am also a recovering alcoholic, addict, and codependent no more. If this is your first time joining us, we welcome you with open arms. And if you are a repeat listener, thank you for your continued love and support. In 2018, I walked away from a 30-year career of drinking and drugging and have been on a path of recovery ever since. I'm here to normalize conversations around these taboo subjects. I'm here to talk about alcoholism, addiction, mental health issues, abuse, and all these things that happen around the world on a humongous scale, yet are frequently not talked about. So let's talk about these things. I'm glad you're here, and let's get into the show. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about mental health. May is the month that is dedicated to raising awareness around mental health matters. And I'm sure that you, if not yourself, are suffering from some sort of mental matters or disorders or anguish, that you most likely know somebody very close to you that is. And I can't help but reflect, over the last 2 weeks I've been moving house. I had to actually stop and take a break from my structure and my routine. And I have realized that for me, that structure and routine, when that gets taken away from me, everything kind of suffers, that in limbo stage. So I'm bouncing between two homes, moving out of an old one into a new one, and nothing is going according to plan. The movers don't come the day they say. The cleaning lady doesn't come the day she says she's going to help. And I've got 62 stairs to shuffle up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. My body's killing me. My back's killing me. My neck's killing me. I can't podcast anymore. I can't write social content anymore. And everything has to be focused on this move. I've been thinking about, that my mental health state and the moving matters, and how rough this has to be for many people. We are afraid of change. I'm afraid of change. When the structure goes out the window, my mental health begins to teeter. Let's say that, teeter. It starts to weigh heavy because nothing is certain. But one thing that my recovery has given me, getting clean and sober, is that I now am aware for the first time in my life what my triggers are. I'm aware that when I take on too much, that I get flustered very easily and everything goes out of balance. Now, why is that important to me or to a recovering alcoholic or addict like myself? That is important because those are the exact reasons that I used to drink and drug over. When I felt anxious or uneasy, I needed a drink. I needed a drink like right now to take the edge off. And I don't do that today. I'm a little over 3 years plus into my journey of recovery without any drinking, without any drugging, and I no longer have that crutch to fall back on. So in my recovery, I'm learning to identify these triggers, what sets me off, and also I'm able to realize this is exactly when I used to drink. If the old me was here, I would be sucking back a drink and calling the dealer right now. But I don't do that anymore. So for me, it is very important to be aware of my mental health, my emotional health. Because if those things go too far without me addressing them, I am more susceptible to falling into those old patterns and behaviors. And I don't want to go back there. I don't ever want to drink or drug again in my life. I actually have nightmares about it, quite often. And I wake up crying and think, was that real? No, it wasn't real. Did I drink? No, I didn't drink. Thank God I'm sober. Because at the end of the day, for me, waking up clean and sober, I'm winning. I'm already winning when I'm waking up clean and sober. Another thing I've been thinking about with this mental health and May is that, I had to pull back from my routine of creating, of being a creator, podcasting, of all of my social media endeavors. I think that's the right word. It sounded pretty smart. It sounded smart to me anyways. Everything changed. So I start having this negative self-talk, about all the things that I should be doing. And I really hate that word. I'm trying to remove that word from my vocabulary, should, because I think it has negative connotations. So I'm trying to remove that from my vocabulary, but those thoughts still creep in, like I should be creating this. I should be putting out an episode. I should be. But then I have to remind myself, you know what? I am here creating a podcast, sharing my experience, strength, and hope with the world and with other people in recovery, talking about keeping emotional sobriety, mental sobriety, and staying clean and sober. Like I have to just stop and take my own advice sometimes. Another thing I have been thinking about with this mental health issue is that, it's pretty mind-boggling to me because I started this podcast and I was confessing to the world and to whoever's listening to this Soberoso podcast that I am an addict and an alcoholic. And that's a huge step to take in itself. It is a huge step to come forward and first of all say you have a problem with substance abuse and with alcohol. I mean, that in itself took many years for me to realize, to get out of denial, and to admit. So I had been podcasting for about a year, and I was asked to guest on somebody else's show. And on their show, somehow mental health matters came up. And for the first time in over a year of podcasting on addiction and alcoholism, for the first time, I was also able to admit out loud to the world and the universe and whoever's listening that I also suffered from mental health issues. And it kind of caught me off guard. Like, how is it that I can admit that I'm an alcoholic addict, yet I haven't been able to talk about the mental health issues? How is it that I have these stigmas built up in my own head at that time that I was ashamed to even speak out about my mental health. Mind-boggling. Today, I am not in that same spot. Today, I took the right measures that I needed to. I talked to my sponsor. I talked to a doctor. I did what I had to do to take care of myself, and I continue to take care of myself. And none of that would have happened if I didn't decide to quit drinking and quit drugging. So if you are at the beginning of your recovery journey, if you're thinking about getting sober or trying it out for a little bit, I encourage you to do so. I encourage you to check on your friends that may be struggling with mental health issues that you're aware of, or even that you're not aware of, because some people mask it very well. Some people do not talk about it, and they put that superficial front on and that mask on that everything is okay. So if you're struggling, reach out, talk to somebody if you need help, talk to your doctor, talk to your sponsor, talk to your friends, and get out of yourself, get out of that shame cycle or that isolating place that keeps us in our own heads. Because like I've heard in the rooms of recovery, your mind is a dangerous place. Don't go in there alone. Don't spend too much time in there alone. So continue loving yourself, being gentle and kind to yourself. All right, beautiful peeps. If you are enjoying the Soberoso podcast, we kindly ask that you show us some love and show us your support. There are 3 ways you can do that. 1, by wearing and sharing your passion for recovery with Soberoso and the world by purchasing one of our t-shirts from our website. 2, sign up for a reoccurring donation of $5 to $10 a month using the red Show Some Love button located at the top of our website. Or 3, help us reach more people with this message of recovery by sharing the Soberoso podcast with others. And if you are an Apple user, please give us a star rating and a review. I am your grateful host, Dora, and until the next time, stay safe, stay sober, and to thine own self be true.